Hello there. My name is Dante, and I'm always excited to share with you on my beautiful channel, blissbeings.com. So, thank you again for tuning in. Today is the last of a short series on the most distorted spiritual ideas. And this one is maybe a bit of a more complex one. I don't really know everything I'm going to say. I just trust it's going to flow. This idea is it's two ideas that are their polar opposites, and we have to find the middle. The idea that I am responsible for other people's feelings. The idea that I am not responsible for other people's feelings. So we're looking for a middle ground that sees both of these as true. And this is really about, I touched upon before, going straight into the paradox of understanding that this is true and this is also true. They may be seeming opposites, but the ability to understand them both as perceptual realities that are real and valid is really key. So which one of these is more common? I think both of these ideas are very common. And let's talk first about I am not responsible for how other people feel. People can walk through life with this idea and just, take very little consideration of how their actions impact others. They can justify saying that, what they are triggered from is something inside of them. That's totally true. And even my guides have said before in sessions that you never hurt anyone. It is their belief about your action or your statement that causes them pain. Yet at the same time, the flip side of this is that we have to be aware of what we're going to trigger in the other person. So there's like this fine line, right, between, you're bringing the density, the pain body, the belief in lack or pain up in another person. Yet if too much of that belief comes up, if there's too much emotional energy brought to the surface, the person is destabilized and they can't process. If not enough of it is brought up that you kind of avoid it, again, it doesn't process. It's more safe, but it doesn't process. So it's that, that really center point of going into where does this pain and where does this story, where does this trauma originate, and opening a space to heal it. That's only possible when you validate the way that other people are feeling and understand that you don't have to make the belief and the ideation that is causing that feeling true in order to validate that feeling as a real, important, valid experience. So, I am responsible for the way that other people feel. This is another very limited belief because other people are creating their reality. And by attempting to change yourself in order to make them feel better, you're sacrificing your own ability to have desires and preferences and needs. Needs come before desires and preferences. It's denying your own needs. And how do we find the middle ground? It's in understanding that beyond this appearance of separate selves, we are all one. And when we change the way that we feel inside, we are supporting others in raising their own vibration. So we are responsible for how other people feel because we are responsible for how we feel. When we can change our own feeling state and we can raise our own frequency, that frequency ripples out to raise the frequency and elevate the frequency of others around us. So at the same time, we are not responsible for the way that other people feel, because everyone has to make the choice to release, to allow themselves to process and feel. They have to make the choice to go into those emotions and transform them. And if they're not making that choice, your elevated frequency does nothing for them. Both of these ideas are true. And there's probably a lot of explorations of ideas of this nature that we could use to help us understand paradox in a very deep way. And once you understand paradox, right and wrong cease being a part of how you perceive reality. Even somebody who's doing something to harm or use another person, that there is a point where that stops being wrong, and that it's just an expression of energy. It's not a good feeling expression of energy, because it causes those individuals to experience separation. So as we raise our frequency more, it is about dissolving that barrier of separation, and you get to a point where you can even see the potential to harm within yourself always. So you have to stop seeing the painful actions and reactions of others as something different from yourself. That is a part of you, because you have the potential for it, because all is one. Moving a bit back into this idea, I am or I'm not responsible for how other people feel. Both, again, are true. And we have to be able to look for the evidence as to how the opposite of a seeming true belief is also true, in order to really transcend this entirely. And I think this paradox is super tied into this idea, because as well, once you start to get this, once you start to understand that, okay, your frequency affects other people, and they are responsible for how they use that effect. That could be the kind of summation of this understanding. My frequency affects other people. How I respond to others affects other people. And they have the choice in how they respond as well. So understanding it that way allows us to take fully our responsibility, and for the other to take fully their responsibility. When people are clinging to either one of these spectrums, that they are or they are not responsible for how other people feel, because both of these ideas and these perceptual realities are quite common in the world, they limit themselves and they keep themselves in a state of separation from others. So it's the same wound of separation, but opposite cures. That's like a pure clear. We carry the same wound, but have different cures. Similar injuries, but opposite remedies. And this is such a beautiful, wise lyric from my favorite artist, musical artist Björk. She has a lot of that wisdom. And when people start to understand that within situations they're experiencing with others, the pain and the wound and the kind of belief in separation or lack that both parties in opposition are experiencing are really the same, and they're just using opposite tactics to try and heal it. And the opposition of those tactics that's not allowing for the expression of the other tactic to be as valid is creating the conflict. So it's in seeing that whenever there is pain, whenever there is conflict, the two sides are having the same wound, they're having the same pain. And in understanding this, you realize that I am responsible for how the other person feels, because how I heal myself allows them to heal as well. And I'm also not responsible for how they feel, because they choose whether they mirror and make that same change as well. So this has been a really interesting exploration. This one, beyond the others, has been kind of channeled, as I knew that this was the idea that I would talk about, but I didn't know all the information that would come through. So I've had a lot of fun making this video, I can say that much. And thank you for watching. And if you would like to go deeper with me in one-to-one sessions, please check out my channel, Bliss Beings, or my website, blissbeings.com, where I offer one-to-one sessions, channeling sessions with the Pleiadian guides, and I do offer packages of discounted sessions for people who want to work with me over a longer period of time. That commitment to continue to show up and integrate this information and apply it in your life really brings you to deeper levels. And patreon.com/bebliss is a beautiful way. Maybe it's patreon.com/bliss. I don't know. The link will be there in the description. But that is a really beautiful way to support me as well, and support a lot of creators who share their ideas and their art and their beauty into the world for free. And your receiving of that and the return of that generosity helps us all to expand and allows people like me to keep doing what we're doing fully and with total commitment. So, yay! And yeah, stay tuned for more videos and online classes as well. Check me out. Write me on Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, Dante Shante Singh. Instagram, Dante Starshine. It's been lovely to share this with you. So thank you, much love and blessings, and I will see you later.